At what point does editing become deception? And does it even matter?
Hi there, welcome back to Half-Light, where we break every possible photography rule there is to be broken. So today, I want to chat with you a little bit about this eternal question in photography. How much editing is not too much? Where is that invisible line between enhancement and distortion, truth and manipulation? All pictures are edited, and all pictures that have ever existed have been edited one way or the other. Even in a dark room, with the chemicals and using different films, it's all editing. It was a different kind of editing that we, do today, but nevertheless, it is editing. Now, even if you're shooting JPEG, well, you are basically outsourcing your editing to your camera, because your camera will do the heavy lifting. A lot of editing, it will sharpen that image, it will adjust the saturation, the contrast and everything depending on that profile that you select in your camera. So there will be some editing, except it won't be done by you, it will be done by your camera. With RAW, your camera doesn't do a lot except for capturing the frame, and then you will be doing the rest. So editing is just part of photography. There is no way around it. The question is then not should we edit, but the question becomes why should I edit? Excuse me, what? Just one moment. No, that is not a telescope. No, it's a lens hood. I know it's big, it's made to be big. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something. I'm talking to people, they're right there looking at me. So we'll discuss it, some other time. My apologies for this uninvited interruption. So there is a couple of angles to editing in general. First of all, there's the ethical one. For example, if you are working on some documentary style shots, obviously the question becomes, do you want to even shoot RAW? Maybe you want to go JPEG and really preserve, that moment. But then again, maybe you are working on a documentary style project where you actually want to add your own angle, by creating certain, visual effects or ways of emotional, connection with your viewers, and then you will be applying some consistent, maybe heavy editing to those pictures to kind of reflect that. So it kind of works both ways. So in this sense, editing becomes a form of authorship, your signature, if you like. And there's another big question about editing. What is your purpose? Are you trying to hide something or reveal something? What is it you're trying to hide? I mean, a lot of times you will see my examples in a few moments. A lot of times I remove things from my pictures, but I'm very careful about that. I really don't like to go big. I just remove little distractions. Let's say I'm somewhere on a beach where there's a lot of, too many birds or too many little things which I just couldn't remove, so to speak, when framing my picture. Then I would just go in Photoshop and remove those things because I just know there was no other way. Or am I trying to fix my picture by editing? Well, that's the big sort of red line for me. I used to try to do that, but that's basically lost cause. I mean, if your picture is broken, let's say, it's not sharp enough. It's an extreme example. You cannot fix that. But of course, if your composition is broken simply because you didn't take your time, which you could have, by the way, then fixing it for me, that's a no-go. In other words, I'm really trying to do my best under the circumstances to make the best version of that image on the scene, on location. And then any editing will be just enhancement rather than fixing something. And yes, removing things is fixing, but again, if I did my best to remove all the distractions and there was no more room to go, well then I kind of hit that ceiling, so I'm okay with doing those fixes. So maybe photography isn't only about making a picture better. Maybe it is also about making the picture truer to what you felt on the location, or truer what you feel now, or both. And then there's the creative side of editing. I mean, let's face it, some edits can be light but unnecessary or bad, and some edits can be heavy but meaningful. So it's really not about the magnitude of edits, it's about what are you trying to do, why are you doing it? And the why here is very, very important, because the why, and obviously more importantly, the answer to that question will set your red line beyond which you will not want to go as in your editing workflow. So let me show you some of my photos. Some of them are older ones and some of them are more recent, where I maybe over edited, and I will explain why, and also some of them where I really felt that, you know, editing / fixing was very, very acceptable.
Now in this picture, the lens wasn't sharp and the picture itself isn't sharp, but because I like the composition, I just wanted to save it so badly, so I did what I could. I over sharpened it. Similar picture, I love the composition, I love the frame, but there just wasn't enough sharpness for this picture to be saved, but nevertheless I tried, so it's over sharpened. Here on this beach picture, I really like the frame in general. I like that empty sign frame in the sand, but there's just too many birds. So I decided to fix that and to remove most of them, because I just couldn't wait for such time that, you know, there's only 1 or 2 birds. So I removed most birds except for one. I added some adjustments and I love the results. Here I applied some two-directional blur, something I like to do with the architectural pictures. Maybe it's too much, but I love the way it looks. Another one of those pictures with imperfect lens. The image wasn't sharp enough, but because I like this composition, the curve, the shadows, everything, I just wanted to save it so badly. The result is so-so. In this picture, if you look on the right, that woman is looking at the exhibit, and that I found somewhat distracting, so I went ahead and removed that and also cropped the image a little bit, cleaned up. But now if you look on the right picture on the right, there's still some artifacts, so this is very much a work in progress. But overall, I really love this composition, and I'm going to work a little bit more on this. I think this definitely has some great potential in it. And this is another picture in a gallery, and I did some heavy editing here. I added contrast, I cleaned up the floor, did lots of cleanup on the walls. I even started removing some of those pictures. So overall, I really love this picture. I especially love the depth of it. And this is one of those pictures where I might cross one of my red lines, but if I end up doing that, I think it's gonna be well worth it. I definitely love this image and what I can do with it, really.
How much editing is too much or is not too much? Well, the good news is you get to decide that for yourself. There's no universal standards or rules for this. You get to decide. But ultimately, you need to know when you cross your red line, what was the reason for that. You need to be able to justify it to yourself. And when you get to that point, I think most, if not all, your concerns about editing or potential over editing will be gone. So as always, if you like my videos, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me because you will be supporting my work. And also, if you like this video, well, hit the like button and also share it and add some comments. So now I challenge you to take one of your old pictures that you maybe over edited and ask yourself, am I still in there? Thank you for watching and see you next time.